I picked up the Fujifilm SX20 a couple of months ago and I've absolutely loved the camera. Performance-wise, it's fantastic. It does everything that I need to in terms of content creation and photography, and it's that perfect middle ground of a hybrid camera that I was really looking for. Film sims as well are absolutely fantastic, and we've covered that before in a previous video, but my one current issue with it was something to do with me. I only had the kit lens and I was looking to expand out into a couple of other territories with lenses to get different jobs done with each, and one of them was low light performance. That's exactly what I wanted. It's not really a massive priority in terms of what I like shooting. I don't tend to get shots of the sky or the stars or anything like that, but when it gets later onto the evening, especially in the winter here in the UK and abroad, I needed something to fill in that gap and allow me to keep on shooting once the sun goes down, and that's exactly where this lens, the 7artisans F1.4 35mm, comes in. 7artisans do this lens on a range of cameras. Again, I'm using the Fujifilm X mount platform, but you can get them for whatever mount you want, whether it be Canon or Sony E mount. They do the whole lot, but I'm here to talk about the Fujifilm 35mm 1.4, and I really love this lens. Before we even get into the technical specs of this thing or how good it is to shoot on, the main thing here is the price. In the Black Friday sale, I got this for around £50, which is just mind-blowing, and my expectations, to be honest, were pretty low, but I thought I'd chuck a bit of money at a lens that will probably get the job done, but maybe not look amazing, just to fill in that void of that low light area that I need in my lens collection as it grows. What really surprised me though is after testing this out for a week or so, the 7artisans F1.4 35mm is properly good. It's not without its quirks and caveats, but it does have a bit of personality to it, which is exactly what I was looking for. The lens is manual though, so no autofocus here, and if you want to use it at least on the Fujifilm platform, in your camera settings you'll have to enable shooting without a lens, because this is known as a dumb lens, meaning there is no actual connection in terms of electronics or anything like that between the lens and the camera body, but once you turn that on, you can shoot as normal, and provided you're accustomed to shooting in manual, the experience is a fairly pleasant one. The focus ring is not infinite, which is of course my preferred configuration because I shoot on video usually, and I very much appreciate actually having focus marks on the outside of the lens, which this lens does, and I found the focus ring to be accurate. The actual aperture ring though is a little bit of a different story. It's completely fine and the travel on both feels very nice. The lens is made out of metal, feels very good to use, and the quality physically feels way above the price point that the lens is actually at, but that aperture ring is not clicked. So there's no ratcheting there, it doesn't stop at each f-stop, it's a smooth rotation, meaning that you'll have to make sure you don't knock it at all, otherwise if you're sat at say f2.8, you might accidentally knock the lens, look back, and now you're at f4, although I would hope that you'd notice in your shot if you had bumped down the aperture by a couple of stops. As long as you're conscious of it though, that it is a thing that can happen, then you'll be completely fine at avoiding moving that ring when you don't want to. Actual shot wise here, again I was focusing mainly on the f1.4 performance of this lens, and it is very good. It's got a lot of character to it, as I said. Your midpoint of the shot is very sharp with a bit of aberration to the edges, so not a completely clean look at the wider apertures, but as soon as you hit say f4, then that becomes pretty even and pretty sharp edge to edge. At f1.4 though, it does produce some pretty stunning images, I think. Heading around the Christmas markets around a couple of cities here in the UK was a perfect opportunity to go and see how this lens performs in low light, and I'm really happy with it. For the price especially, you can get some really lovely shots with some nice bokeh in the background, and this lens filled in that void perfectly of what I wanted at that lower light level. Unfortunately, I gotta wait until I'm out of the city to test out some more nature-oriented shots and maybe get some starscapes, but from what I've tested here in the markets, it's pretty fantastic. Overall, my first impressions of the 7artisans lens are pretty damn good. For the price, it punches way above its weight, and I really like the characteristics of it. Some of the aberrations in certain shots aren't going to be to everyone's liking, but I do think it does a damn good job, and I can't complain for the price. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, there's plenty more on the channel. Let me know what you think of this lens. Do you own it? Do you own similar lenses? What are your favorite lenses for the Fuji platform or any other platform? Please do let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I'll see you all in the next one.